I have been reliably informed that some weeks back, the 4 commissioners of Parliament received a second service award of 400 million shillings each. The 4 commissioners, as we know them, the Honourable Solomon Silwanyi, the Honourable Esther Afoyochan, the Honourable Prossy Mbabazi, and the Honourable Mathias Mpuuga. This money was apparently intended to see them through the campaigns. And to avoid a paper trail, this money was received through the parliamentary circle. Now, these people, through their agents, have been recently, and specifically last week, been spreading propaganda that I also received a service award. Some of you probably saw those things. Now, this is completely false, and it is meant to be a cover-up for this second service award that the commissioners gave themselves. Look, even if they sent any such money to my account, I will direct my bank with immediacy to return that money to the sender. Why? Because such under-the-table money is illegal, it is irregular. This is a point that I've made severally. As we have said time and again, if any of these commissioners want to be awarded, and I've heard some of them say former leaders have been awarded, former vice presidents, prime ministers, and so on, let them bring an amendment to the law. We have a law called Emoluments and Benefits of the President, Vice President, and Prime Minister. When those people leave office, there are benefits which they get. So if any of these commissioners want to also receive some kind of benefit, why don't they bring an amendment to that law so that we debate it publicly, as opposed to doing things surreptitiously and under the table? You see also, the former leaders that they keep referring to did not sit among themselves and decide to give themselves money, as these commissioners keep doing. That's one difference. This is a law that was passed in 2010 by the then Parliament. The emoluments and benefits of the President, Vice President, and Prime Minister. But also, the awards received by these former leaders were received after they left office, not when they were still serving, like these commissioners keep doing. And you see, that's why even media houses are being hounded out of Parliament today, because of the many ills that keep happening here. When we talked about First Service Award and the corruption here at Parliament, I know for a fact some media houses were threatened, some staff of Parliament were threatened because they were thought to be the ones giving this information to us, and this continues to happen. My point has always been, if you are doing the right thing, then you'll have no reason to hound the media and even some staff of Parliament. Just do the right thing, and you'll not have any problem with the media, as we are seeing. NTV, Daily Monitor is the latest victim. We don't know which media house might be next. Why? Because the media keeps exposing the ills that are happening among leaders. Just do the right thing, and you'll not have a problem with the media, you'll not have a problem with some of your staff, because I know for a fact that some staff have been threatened severally for dismissal, and some even worse have been threatened to be harmed, because they are thought to be the ones who keep availing this information to us. Obviously, we get it from reliable sources, and that's why it is critical. But we condemn, again, this behavior. Previously, I wrote to the IGG, then the Honourable Betty Kamya, after the First Service Award and the corruption that was happening here at Parliament, and she promised that she will come and investigate. She never did. So I'm not going to write to the IGG again, the current one, because I know for a fact they will not investigate these matters. They will not pick interest. But it's important that we are accountable to the people of Uganda. My duty here is to keep the government in check. How do I do it? When there is an ill happening, I'll expose it so that the public knows. It's important. Ultimately, we are accountable to the people of Uganda. So if I write to the IGG and there is no response, I will inform the people of Uganda, because the buck stops with them. Thank you. Can visit them in Uganda, then take the question. Nfunye amawulire okuva mu nsonda eneekusifu wano mu Parliament nti ba commissioners ba Parliament abana bazeemu okwewa akasiimo ke bayita service award ng'akaluli, era nga buli omu mu weeks eziwedde kwaba abana yafunye million 4. Guno mulundi gwakubiri nga bakola ekintu kino. Ba commissioner abana kuliko Honorable Silwanyi, Honorable Esther Afoyochan, Honorable Prossy Akampurira ne Honorable Mathias Mpuuga. Sente zino zaabaweebwa mbu zibayambe okuyita mu kalulu ketugendamu campaigns n'ebirala. Era sente zino zaayisibwa mu saako eya Parliament. Gezaawo okulaba nti tewaliwo ka paper trail kuziyisa mu saako ya Parliament. Abakulembeze bano nga bayita mu bantu baabwe wiiki ewedde babadde basaasaanya kalebule kunze nga bagamba era mu birabi nti Ssenyonyi naye bamuwadde akasiimo simanya miliyoni 65 wezityo. Okusookera ddala kino si kituufu nti nina akasiimo ke naweereddwa era nzize empakanya embeera zino era nkyaziwakanya. Era kekanaabatanda sente zino ne bazisindika ku akawunti yange kuba buli kanaku nkebera akawunti okulaba nti tebazikanyugayo nga sitegedde. Genzirabirayo nti bazikanyuzeeyo njagamba banka yange muzizeeyo gye zaavudde kubanga sente zino nkyamu. Kyovudde olaba bazikola bakikola wansi wa mmeeza. Era ekyokunteekako kalebule ono bagezaako kubikkirira service award eno ey'okubiri gye beewadde. Tuze tukyogera nti ba commissioners bano era kuba baze bakyogera nti abakulembeze abalala Prime Minister bw'awummula aweebwa akasiimo. Nabagamba era nkyabagamba abakulembeze bannange, oba mulina akasiimo ke mwagala muleete ennongoosereza mu tteeka. Waliwo etteeka eryayisibwa mu 2010 Parliament yaliwo mu kaseera ako liyitibwa Emoluments and Benefits of the President, Vice President and Prime Minister Act. Era etteeka eryo lye bayitamu okuwa benefits n'ebirala abaali abakulembeze. Kakati gwe commissioner bw'oba naawe kyoyagala leeta ennongoosereza mu tteeka tubiteeseeko mu lwatu. Lwaki mubikola mukutu nga bwe mukola? Ate n'ekirala ekyenjawulo nti bano abakulembeze abaaliwo Prime Minister n'abalala bafuna akasiimo n'ebirala tebaatuula bo nga bo ne beegabira nti kakati katukole bwe tuti. Byonna byayita mu mateeka. Ate n'ekirala nti akasiimo sente zonna ze baafuna byonna babifunye nga bafudde mu bukulembeze, si nga bakyali mu ofiisi nga bano bakomishona bye bakola buli kiseera. Ensangi zino mulaba bannamawulire babagobaganya naddala wano ku Parliament. NTV ne Daily Monitor bagobeddwa wano. Tetumanyi media house ki gye bazzaako. Lwaki? Ku lw'ebikyamu ebikolebwa abakulembeze. Oba nga byokola ng'omukulembeze bituufu, oba tulina kweraliikirira bannamawulire oba abakozi, kubanga era mbiwulira waliwo abakozi aba Parliament be bazze batiisatiisa okuviira ddala service award yasooka n'ebyali bigenda mu maaso mu Parliament nga batiisatiisa okubagoba oba n'okubakolako obukyamu nti be batuwa information eno. kakola bukozi kituufu oba tojja kuba na buzibu n'omuntu yenna oba munnamawulire oba ba staff aba parliament. Neyanziza. Yes, somebody said up until now it's coming to 2 years since I joined the commission as leader of the opposition. I've not sat in a single meeting of the commission, not one. When I continuously talked about this, there was a time they sent me an invitation when they knew I was out of town on official duty. So the invitation came in the middle of the night saying, come tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for a commission meeting. They knew I was out of town and there was no way I was going to come hurriedly for that commission meeting. So that's the time they have sent me an invitation, because I'm sure they might share around a certain event and say, but we invited the LOP here. Yeah, that 1 or 2 times they did it deliberately that way. You don't send somebody an invitation in the night and say, come tomorrow morning. Not for a commission meeting, surely. Even other meetings are better organized. How about a commission meeting? You're supposed to inform members prior. Except when there's an emergency, and there's never such a thing here, like an emergency, that some disaster has happened, so we need to have a meeting now in the next 30 minutes. No, these things are properly programmed. You're supposed to inform members at the bare minimum 7 days to the meeting. But that does not happen. Are there benefits? Yes, by virtue of being leader of the opposition, there are benefits that accrue to that. I've got security, I've got an official card, you know, there's, yes, those benefits. And that's been my quarrel with colleagues. Yeah? By virtue of the office that you occupy, you get extra benefits in comparison to the other members of parliament. Why don't you settle with that? Why is it not adequate for you that now you have to still sit quietly and give yourselves more money that is outside of your benefits of the office? That's my challenge. Because, yes, as people who occupy these offices, yes, there are those extra benefits. You know, just like ministers, for example, and so on and so forth. Yes, there are those extra benefits. And my issue has been, why don't they suffice? That in addition to these extra benefits that I get, which other MPs don't get, you still sit and you give yourselves extra money, which you're calling a service award, not once, but twice now. It is wrong. What makes my claim factual? You see, the media here, especially over such a serious matter, and I'm not sure about what I am saying. Never. By the time I say something, it's because I've taken time to be sure of this. So I didn't get this information this morning or even yesterday. A while back, but I took time to be sure this is factual before I can talk about it. And that's why all the issues that I've said, do you remember when with the first service award, they first denied, as you also. But eventually they said, okay, we received the money, but we received it through the proper channels. You remember when we told the nation about the 100 million shilling saga? Members of parliament said, LOP Ssenyonyi, you keep saying these things to make parliament look bad. We are even taking you to court personally. Some members said they were going to take me to court personally. I said, okay, I'm waiting. But eventually, even the one who gave them the money came out and conceded as such. So, even about the second service award, they probably will first come out and deny. Wait. But, yes, the truth always comes out. And this is factual. Okubiddamu bino mu Uganda. Enda mu myaka ebiri kukyanfuuka LOP era nga nina okutula ku commission. Nye situlanga mu meeting ya commission n'emu. Kubanga tebampita, kubanga bamanyi bye bakolayo bikyamu era tebagala mbeere mu meetings ezo. Bwe nasigala nga mbyogerako nti tebampita mu commission meetings zino, waliwo bampandikira ebbaluwa lumu ng'ebiri. Naye bakikola bwe kiti kigenderere. Bamanyi nti ina gye ndazeeko bweru w'ekibuga ku mirimu emitongole. ne basindika ebbaluwa mu kiro nga bampita nti jangu commission meeting enkya ku makya ssaawa 3 era nga bamanyi nti ne bwe naavugisa speed ki oba ne bwe naakozesa means ki sijja kubanga wendi ssaawa 3 bakikola kigende nga bamanyi nti kakati taliiwo okumala naku 2-3 o whatever kati awo batompise oba weebuzaabuza kibere ku record era bajja balagako mulaba wano twamuyita ne wano twamuyita naye ng'ebbaluwa ezo zituuse ddi emu actually baagi backdatinga naku nga 2 mabega naye wano mu office yatuukawo saa 12 jangu enkya ku makya ssaawa 3 nga bamanyi nina gye ndaze kati olaba nti bye bakola byonna babikola bigenderere to making sure nti situla mu meetings zino kubanga commission meeting ne bweba meeting ya kyalo abantu bawo obudde ate kakati commission meeting fact abantu balina okubabuulira nga bulaye ekitone nnyo nnaku 7 kujjako nga waliwo emergency ate wanti ziriiwo anti waliwo ekigwa kitalaze kakati bannaye tugende mu meeting mu dakiika 30 si bye biri wano meeting zaffe zonna ziri programmed bulungi katoyinza kubanga invitation ogimpa mu kiro muzije nkya ku makyango omanyini nawe nalaze yes waliwo benefits zenfuna nga lead of opposition yes olwa office gyendimu nina security n'emmotoka n'ebirala ate ekyo kyeŋŋamba ne bannange ba commissioners kubanga zi office ze balimu ze tulimu tulina benefits ze tufuna omubaka owa bulijjo omubaka omulala zaatafuna kakati nze ŋŋamba lwaki temumalwa n'ezo benefits ze mufuna naye ne musalawo mutuule muddemu mweyongereko zi service award si gumu kati mirundi 2 kiba kikyamu ebuzibu ennina nti oba olina ezi office z'olimu LOP commissioner ne bwaba minister yes tulina benefits ze tufuna bamemba abalala ze batafuna naye ate n'ogatta okwo ndodamu n'otuula mu manku wetu ne muyiwa ssente kati mirundi 2 kiba kikyamu kubanga already olina benefits z'ofuna kati bino by'oba okola biba byaki ensonga eya IGG yes luli amabaluwa service award yasooka n'ebyali bigenda mu maaso wano mu parliament nepandikira IGG ne musaba ajja anoonyereze mu kaseera Honorable Betty Kamya baluwa wange yagiddamu n'agamba nja kujja nene kaakano avudde mu ofiisi nga tajjanga oba naye bamutiisatiisa simanyi so ku luno sigenda kuwandikira IGG kubanga manyi tebali kye bajja kukolawo naye obuvunaanyizibwa bwange kantegeeze bannayuganda bakimanyeeko kubanga ffenna tuli accountable eri bannayuganda nti IGG bwe namutegeezaako ayinza obutabaako kyakola naye bannayuganda be balina obuyinza obusembayo kubanga tuli accountable eri bo tujja bategeeza tuwanike obuziina buno twanike ebikyamu bino ebigenda mu maaso byenjogera mbinako bukakafu kindo siyitaako bannamawulire ku nsonga eziri serious bwe ziti nga byenjogerako sibinako bukakafu era nsooka naye kunoonyereza ngeyaliko munnamawulire kati information eno saagifunye leero ku makya oba eggulu agifuna kaseera akayiseeko naye nenga akantwala obudde noonyereza embeera eshuwa nga sinayogera ku nsonga zino kyovudola buli kyenjogerako kiba kituufu twayogera ku service award yasooka basooka kwekaanamu abalaba naye gye byaggweera ne bagamba kale sente twazifuna naye twazifuna mu butuufu mu mikono mituufu twayogera ku miliyoni 10 juzi abaka ne bagamba gwe Ssenyonyi ojja suyagala obyogera ebyokufaananya obi Palamenti abamu ne bagamba nti bagenda kuntwala mu kooti nze nga Ssenyonyi ne ngamba kale mbalinze naye gye byaggweera nga ne yabawa ssente Mwai Museveni avuddeyo nakkiriza so ne ku kino service award ey'okubiri miliyoni 4 buli omu zaafunye bano ba commissioners oba oli abajja kusooka beegaane mujja bawulira naye eventually biba bituufu era amazima agavaayo kyovudde olaba tewali n'omu ku bbo ayinza oga nti kakati nga bwe baakangamu luli ku 10 nti Ssenyonyi katutwale mu kooti mba mbalinze kubanga byenjogerako babimanyi nti bituufu kyovudde olaba tubivumirira. Yesterday at party headquarters, we spoke about this issue. I spoke about this issue. And we have said we are going to support these traders to go to court. Some of them have already gone. We are mobilizing others to support them in this process. We are not saying that we know there are challenges with our processes in court, might take forever and so on and so forth. But we are saying at least let it be on record. I saw yesterday officials in KCCA, including the ED, promising to compensate these traders. I'm not a prophet, but that compensation is not going to come at all. Yeah, because, well, what example do they give us of people they have compensated? In March of this year, even before Ham started the, illegal construction he's doing, there were floods in the city. In my constituency, I lost 3 people. Over 6 people died in the entire city. In my constituency, Mulimira Zone, 3 people to those floods. The Honorable Mr. Kavanda, KCCA, and so on, they and other leaders, they promised that there will be compensation. It has never come. In August of last year, the Chitezi landfill disaster happened. 35 people died, bodies were retrieved. 28 people are still missing to date. KCCA still at the time promised that they were going to compensate these families, those that are bereaved, those that lost loved ones, of course others lost their houses, property and so on. Until tomorrow, that compensation has not happened. So I would like to implore the traders, please don't be hoodwinked. I saw them coming you down in that meeting that we are going to compensate you. It's not going to happen because they have never done it. They are not willing to do it at all. It's not their priority. They have failed to fix roads. And you think they're going to compensate you, traders? They will not. Chitezi that happened right under their watch. They promised to compensate. They have not. They will not compensate the traders. I'm not a prophet, but I'm sure it's not going to happen. So traders, do not take things lightly that now they have promised us they're going to compensate us, let's calm down. No. And that's why it's good. Those that are going to court, we are supporting them. So that at least there is a court record. It's important to go through that, yeah? But keep speaking out, traders. Speak out. Some of us believe in peacefully expressing yourselves, peacefully even protesting, to show your discomfort. The teachers have been protesting peacefully. They didn't beat anyone. But they said, we are laying down our tools. And the pressure was felt until, of course, the leaders were called and they told them, now this thing is getting out of hand. Please tell people to go back. Medical workers have in the past protested peacefully. So even traders, please do take some action. Don't be comfortable because they have promised you that they are going to compensate you. Like they compensated who? Kisitu asks what he thinks. Why do you give us information after it has happened? Why not give us what's in the pipeline? I thought he was around when I was saying they don't invite me to the meetings where they take these decisions. So I can only find out after the meetings have happened. So I'm not some kind of foreteller that now I can sit here and I foretell that in 2 months down the road there will be a commission meeting which will decide this and so on. I don't have those spiritual powers, Mr. Kisitu. But at least what will happen, yes, when I get to know, I do communicate. I wish, and that's why I keep, wondering why and pushing to sit in those meetings. Because then they are out, probably in that meeting say, no, this is wrong, let's not pass this. This is problematic. But that's the very reason they don't invite me to the meetings, because they know I'll say no to this on record. Namayo, this is something that I have, one, the information that I've received is from very reliable sources, just like it was with the First Service Award, which they denied. And I said it is true. Eventually, they considered and said, okay, we took the money, but it was through the proper channels. Which channels, they couldn't explain themselves. When I talked about the 100 million shillings, again, there were questions. Ssenyonyi, where do you get that from? We shall take you to court and so on. But it became very clear, including from the person, Sam 7, who gave them the money. So even with this one, give it time. Why not write to the new IGG? You see, the IGG is not just an individual, of course. One, there are 2 deputies. Those 2 deputies are still in office. They were deputies to the Honorable Betty Kamya, they are still in office. It's an entire infrastructure. And those are the challenges that we have had with the institution. It's not just the individual. And I said, when the new appointee, who is a judge of the High Court, I said, this lady is competent, she knows the law, but she's not going to do much in the office of the IG. Yeah, because it's not about how much law you know and so on and so forth, yeah. The institution is not allowed to operate. It's not given the tools to fight corruption. And that's why Mr. Museveni told the IGG then, watcha, don't go after these corrupt people. At least they are putting the money. Yeah, when I was still in the media, we interviewed the then IGG, Justice Irene Mulyagonja, and we asked her, why is it that you only go after small fish? And her response was, on record, she said, whenever I go after the big fish, I find them hiding behind the president. This was at the level of a judge, in fact, Court of Appeal. She knows the law and so on, but she was saying, I'm being frustrated. Whenever I go after the thieves, they are being protected. So it doesn't matter who you put in that office, yeah? They will not deal with the corruption issue because it is systemic, it is institutionalized, unfortunately. Yes, Monica Nabukenya Chibalama, it is very unfortunate. We put out this news yesterday evening that the wife of Mr. John Bosco Chibalama, Mrs. Monica Nabukenya Chibalama, was found dead in her bathroom yesterday. This lady has been everywhere, speaking everywhere, pushing and saying, I want information regarding my husband. Her husband, John Bosco Chibalama, was abducted on 3rd June 2019. It's over 6 years since that happened. The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, came out and told the nation that Chibalama was arrested. And Mrs. Chibalama, this one who has died, has been asking Prime Minister, where is my husband? You said he was arrested by the state. You tell us the prison, the facility where he's being kept, so that we come as his family and see him, so that we get lawyers to follow up the matter. And Robin Anabanja has been mute. So she's been very vocal in trying to push to establish the whereabouts of her husband. And that information, she has unfortunately died without knowing, left little children who are growing, still trying to establish the whereabouts of their father, and now their mother has also died under mysterious circumstances. We are waiting to see what the autopsy report and so on will say, but it's very unfortunate that she has passed on. We hope that the Right Honorable Robin Anabanja will now give answers to the children, because the wife who has been demanding has passed on. But the children and the nation, because it's not just a family matter, any individual, you see, the state is responsible for all of us. And that's why you cannot give birth to a child and do whatever you want with that child, that you can beat them up, that you can kill them and say, but I'm the one who gave birth to this child. No. The state is responsible for them. And so the country, Uganda, is still waiting from Robin Anabanja. Where is Chibalama? You said that he was arrested by the state. I saw recently Felix Kulaje, the spokesperson of the UPDF, he came out like a typical propagandist and he said, Chibalama fled the country, he's hiding in some country. And when he was asked which country, he said, I will not tell you. I said, now, look at this man. So anyhow, we still demand 4 answers. The family still demands 4 answers. It's unfortunate that she has passed on mysteriously before getting answers as to what happened to her husband. And others, by the way, not just John Bosco Chibalama, there are others. Kanata Muhammad, John Damulira, and several others who are still missing to date. Sam Mugumya was also disappeared a couple of weeks back. And the state is mute. There are 2 Kenyans who came to express solidarity with us to attend one of our rallies in Bujiri, in eastern Uganda, Busoga. What rally, and then we saw them, of course, we recognize the faces. One called Bob Jagi, and another called Oyo Nicholas. When they left the rally, they were kidnapped. And the government of Uganda has not accounted for these Kenyans. And you cannot even say that they were here illegally. But how? This is the East African community. You can move from Kenya to Uganda and vice versa using your national identity card. Because the borders were opened, we are one big East African region. Okay, even if you say they committed an offense, why haven't you produced them in court to charge them with whichever offense? But you have disappeared them up until now. So we demand for answers. The people of Uganda, the people of East Africa want to know what has happened to all these different people. Ensonga z'abasuubuzi olunaku olw'eggulo twabadde ku kitebe kyaffe nga tetunagenda butambala n'eggomba gye twabadde ku campaigns, twayogedde ku nsonga z'abasuubuzi. Twabaddeko n'abasuubuzi abamu awo era nga twogera okuvumirira ekyabatuuseeko. Kyannaku ebintu bino bibeerawo ne bitwalibwa ng'ebyokusaaga. Nabalabe mu meeting olunaku olw'eggulo ng'abakulu mu KCCA ne executive director babakakasa nti kakati tugenda balirira compensation abasuubuzi abafunye obuzibu. Mbakubira omulanga ebyo si bituufu era tebagenda bakompensatinga. Nze siri nabbi naye nkimanyi nti okwo okulirira kwe babasuubiza tekugenda tuukirira nga bwe baali baliiridde ani. Mu March ow'omwaka guno nga nehamu akavuyo kakolaawo tebinnatandika ebyo byonna era amataba gatta abantu abasoba mu 6. Nze mu constituency yange ya Nakawa West Mulimira zone tafiirwa abantu 3 era Honorable Minister Kabanda KCCA n'abalala ne bagamba tugenda balirira ne kaakati tebakikolanga. Omwaka oguwedde August Kiteezi mwalaba enjega yagwayo abantu 35 emirambo ne bagijjayo nga bafudde bambi. Abantu 28 ne kaakano tebafunikanga. Era Minisita Kabanda n'aba KCCA bonna ne bavaayo ne bagamba tugenda balirira tebakikolanga. Abafiirwa abantu baabwe, abafiirwa amayumba gaabwe n'ebintu ebirala n'enkya paka nkya tebabaliiriranga. So bwe nalabye nga bagamba abasuubuzi nti bambi mukakkane temufaayo tugenda balirira, ebyo si bituufu era muleke kukakkana. Temukakkana, tebagenda balirira nga bwe babasuubiza. Kyovuddoola baffe twagambye abagenda mu kooti tugenda basupportinga. Yes, kooti zirina ebizibu, kijja twala ebbanga ddene naki, naye wakiri kibeere ku record. Kibeere ku record. Ate ffe abasuubuzi ffe tubakubira omulanga, tewali tteeka limenya ly'oba omenye ng'osazeewo okwolesa obutali bumativu mu mirembe. Abasomesa babadde mu kwekalakaasa nga bagamba nedda mutukolere ekituufu naffe mutuwa omusaala ng'abalagu mbawa. Of course, waayisa akabanga ne bayita abakulembeze baabwe baba batiisiza baba bakoze batya. Bagamba bannaye bantu mbagaye baddeyo basomese. Abasawo bulijjo beekalakaasa mirembe. Kakati nammwe abasuubuzi kikkirizibwa okwekalakaasa mirembe. Abasomesa tebalina gwe bakuba ejjinja n'abasawo tebalina gwe bakuba, nammwe tewali kati mukwate amayinja mukube ekiyoba kino naye musobola okwekalakaasa mirembe ne mufuna obwenkanya. Bino bye babasuubiza eyo mu meeting eggulo gye mwabaddemu tebigenda tuukirira. Ani gwe baali baliiridde gwe mumanyimu. Amataba gazigayoola ebintu by'abantu Kiteezi n'ebirala. Bano abalemeddwa okukola enguudo wano e Kampala ebinnya ebijjudde buli wamu ngo bagenda baliirira. Muleme kulimbibwa. Situ ekibuuzo kyo nkiddemu mu Luganda? Kala nkiddemu. Kisitu yabuuzizza ekibuuzo, yeekuŋŋaanyiza bulungi n'abuuza ekibuuzo eky'amaanyi ennyo. Kisitu yagambye nti naye LOP lwaki ebintu bino obitubuulira bimaze kubeerawo, lwaki tubitubuulira nga tebinnabeerawo? Kisitu yabaddewo nga ŋŋamba nti muzi meetings tebampita. Kyovuddoola sobola bitegeera nga biri mu kubeerawo, bitegeera luvannyuma. Singa mbeera mu meeting awo mba nsobola okugamba nti kino kikyamu temukikola kino nze nkiganye. Kyovuddoola tebampita mu zi meeting ezo. So kakati siyinza agamba nti ndiko some spiritual powers ndisobola okugamba nti mu myezi 2 okuva kati bajja tuula ku lunaku luno saawa bweziti basalewo kino. Naye buli kibaawo nga kikyamu newankubadde tebampise mu meeting mba nja kitegeera niba bakikweka batya nga bwe ntegedde kino nenkibabuulira. Ensonga ya Namayo n'emisinde yadduse dda. Oh, okay, mulabya yafulumye. Okay, naye munne waali. Sorry. Ensonga yes ey'obukakafu kuba njogedde ku kanjiddemu situuzangako bannamawulire nga wano nenjogera ku kintu nga sikiinaako obukakafu era nga bwe kyali ku saavisa woodi yasooka basooka kwegaana naye gye byaggwira ne bakkiriza twazifunye naye kale byayise mu mikono mitendere mituufu naye giriwa nga tebinnyonnyolikika twayogera ku miliyoni 10 abagana yaga Ssenyonyi tugenda kutwala mu kooti otwogerako kalebule ne mubaga mulindeeko katono era gye byaggwira nga ne yabawa ssente avuddeyo nakkiriza so ne ku kino saavisa woodi ey'okubiri miliyoni 4 commissioners abana bonna ze baafunye bajja kusooka beegaane mujja balaba nga babaze bakola bulijjo neze kyenjogerako kiyimirirako era mujja biraba byonna nga bivaayo. Yes, lwaki towandiikira IGG kati ofisi erina omuntu omupya? Obuzibu tebuli ku muntu, obuzibu buli ku kitongole bambi. Ekitongole ekyo tekyetengeredde nga bwe kirina kubeera. Kyoddola Mwai Museveni abagamba ababbi temubagendera nnyo, ssente ze babbe bajja zitwala awalala. Wakiri bazimba wano zi shopping mall, zi arcade n'ebintu byabwe bye bazimba. Nali nkyali mawulire ne tukola interview ne yali Kalisoliiso mu kaseera ako Justice Irene Lyagonja ne tumubuuza naye lwaki obunnyanja okwata butono bwokka aganina agakula bwogatya n'atugamba interview National Media Group yagikola as part of the team. Kalisoliiso mu kaseera ako Justice Irene Lyagonja n'atugamba nti buli bwengoba ag'ennyanja aganene gasanga geekwese emabega wa president nti ababbi bano abanene balina protection naye tasobola bakwatako kati bwe buzibu buli mu ofiisi eyo oba otadde mwani juzi bwe baleeta IGG omupya ali ku ddaala eri omulamuzi ne ngamba ono omulamuzi amateeka agamanyi naye talina kyamaanyi kyagenda kukolawo kubanga takkirizibwa system temukkiriza. Ensonga eya Monica kitalo nnyo kyannaku twafunye amawulire nti mukyala Monica Nabukenya Kibalama yafudde, yasangiddwa nyumba ye mu kinaabiro ng'afudde mu ngeri etategeerekeka era tulinze okutegeera ebinaava mu autopsy report. Naye mukyala Monica Kibalama ono aze nga abanja baawe John Bosco Kibalama yawambibwa ennaku z'omwezi 3 June 2019 kati giyise mu myaka 6. Prime Minister w'ekitiibwa Robin Nabbanja yavaayo n'agamba eggwanga n'ategeeza eggwanga nti Kibalama yakwatibwa basirikale ba gavumenti. Bulijjo tubanja Nabbanja Kibalama aliwa gwe wagamba nti yakwatibwa. Mukyala Kibalama ono Monica afudde mu ngeri etategeerekeka. Aze abanja mukyala Nabbanja agamba mukyala Nabbanja naawe oli muzadde naye nina abaana kati wagamba baba wange yakwatibwa mwamutereka wa bwe mwamukwata bw'aba alina omusango we yazza lwaki temukuba mu mbuga z'amateeka tubeerewo tutegeere ki ekigenda maaso ne balooya nga weebali. Nabbanja talina kyabiddamu, tukyabanja Robina Nabbanja n'abalala abaawambibwa ba John Damulira, Bakanata Muhammadi n'abalala bangi. Of course nalaba spokesperson wa UPDF Felix Kulaije juzi yavaayo naga nti Kibalama ono alina eggwanga lye yaddukamu yeekwese eyo. Ne bamubuuza nti ggwanga kitya? Sijja dibabuulira n'otunuulira omusajja omuntu ayogera ebitategeerekeka. Naye tukyabanja abantu bano eggwanga lyagala kutegeera ate kati beeyongedde n'okweyongera kati wiiki eziwedde Sam Mugumya naye yawambibwa. Gavumenti teyagala kwogera wa bwemutadde. Waliwo bannakenya babiri Bob Njagi ne Nicholas Oyo ba activists eyo kuva Kenya era batugoberera wano nga NUP. Bawulira nti twali Busoga eyo nga campaign zitandise ne bajja ku rally yaffeemu ne tubeekanga nti yemmwe nti tuze naffe okubalaga solidarity ne tubaaniriza. Bwe baava ku rally eyo baali bakomawo ne babawambira ekira. Gavumenti ekyasirise bakyebuzaabuza tetumanyi wawe bali naki naye nga n'abantu babalabanga babawamba. Ate nga toyinza kugamba nti bazza musango okujja wano nga bannakenya. Tuli mu East African Community okozesa national ID yo n'osala kati Kenya nayo kiringa bova mu district eno nodda mu ndala. Tusobola okuva ne Kenya n'ogende Uganda n'ogende Kenya oba n'ova Kenya n'ojja Uganda. Naye kale bwe kiba nti muteebereza balina omusango gwe bazza lwaki temubakuba mu mbuga z'amateeka? Lwaki mubawamba batwala eyo nga teri amanyi wawe bali? Twagala okutegeera ebifa ku bantu bano wa bwe bali.